How can delegation of authority contribute to effective strategic management? You are drowning in decisions that should never reach you. Within the next 30 days, we're going to get that off your plate. Strategic management fails when the owner spends their time on these strategic decisions really that their team needs to be handling. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to delegate authority, but without losing control or adding more chaos to the infrastructure. We were working with a huge home builder around the world. If I said the name, you'd know exactly who the home builder is. And it was one of their key leaders. And as we were sitting down, this key leader was talking about how they're working 70, 80 hours a week, which is totally not sustainable. They were missing their kids' lives. They were doing all that stuff. It makes us sad when we hear it. And so we started to have this conversation. Within about 10 minutes, we realized what was going on. Every decision, day to day, was bottlenecking at their desk. I mean small decisions, big decisions, all of these decisions, but everything was running through them. They were the traffic cop. They were the toll booth operator. And all the cars were running through them. And after about 30 days of sitting down and mapping out both the processes and understanding the power of delegation, we started to drop their time to now they're given about 40 to 50 hours a week, and they're actually far more effective. There are really two types of decisions in any business, and quite frankly, you need to be spending the majority of your time on only one of them. So, two types of decisions. You ready? Strategic, strat decisions are what we call them, versus ops decisions. Let's put it this way. These are yours, those are theirs. But too many times, you make these decisions your decisions and strategic decisions your decisions. That's where we get into that bottleneck situation. So if we could just start from a delegation standpoint, understanding there are two types of decisions, and you need to be focusing your time on the left side or the strategic side of the business. That's what Michael Gerber calls working on your business versus working in. So let's put that down here. On your business versus in your business. Now with this, there are also this kind of bifurcated view around business and ensuring that these folks get what they need in order to operate this. So let's put our team over here, and we've got to think through this in two lenses. Number one is delegation versus abdication. So when we're looking at delegating effectively, we really need to think through this idea of delegation, but many times what we're doing is we're abdicating. And here's what abdication looks like. It's taking something that I need to do, maybe go out and sell something, go do some business development, some networking, whatever, and I just look at you and go, hey, I need you to go to that event and go network. And all you tell them is where the event's at, what time it starts, and that's about it. But you give them no script. You give them no policy or process to do that. In our business, we obviously have team members that go all over the place. They speak. They have to have individual conversations. And when we're talking to a business owner, we're a coaching and advisory firm working with owners between 3 and 100 employees. Well, every owner we talk to has a different situation. But what we do is we equip our team with 6 core questions, and out of those questions, they've got to be able to maneuver and variate based on what those things are. But what we've done is we've delegated the sales process by giving a script. So we've created a process for them to be able to follow, and then we rep that process about 50 weeks out of every year. So when they walk into a situation, they are not ill-equipped to be able to do that. That's far better than just going, hey, I need you to sell more. I need you to sell more. And so part of the frustration, that key leader that I was telling you about, the big home builder earlier, was he would send out emails to his team that just said, we need to sell more. Like, that was it. We need to sell more. There was no delegation of that authority. All it was abdication. Here's a number, you need to go hit the number, and you got to figure that out. You'll hear the misnomer sometimes. Just hire great people and you'll get to where you want to go. No. Hire great people if you can find them, and then train. Process, training, accountability, the PTA model, and if you'll do that, then you'll get to where you need to go. But too many of us, what we do is we abdicate this and we just push it off and hope for the best. So our strategy becomes finger crossing and guessing instead of strategic delegation, instead of abdication. All right, so once we've kind of worked a mindset to go, okay, I do want to delegate, I don't want to abdicate, so how do I do this? We're going to look at the 4 core systems of every business. And those are marketing, sales, ops, and admin. So MSOA are our 4 core systems. Every business has these. Marketing tells the world that we're here. Sales is what connects us to a customer through a contract. Operations is where we fulfill the vow of that contract, and administration is what holds it all together. It's where we mow the grass and change the diapers and change the light bulbs of life together with a customer or a client. So once we've identified this, we can then take it vertically and go, okay, I've got marketing, sales, ops, and admin. and you put little vertical spaces in here. You set your timer for about 15 minutes, and you have a clean space on a clean sheet of paper, and you just start to write down all the different processes that exist underneath. So we want to delegate properly instead of abdicate. We want to go, hey, I want you to go sell, but here's how you sell. So what we've got is we've got all of our sales process in here, and then we've got a method of training those processes, weekly in team meetings, however that looks for you. And now we're starting to delegate so that that person can go out and sell like we sell, or eventually better than we sell. Now, as you start to build this thing out, we call this the shrub of your role. You're going to start to build this out, and you're going to realize that I've got this, this kind of shrub that is my job role. And once I write out my own job role right here, over time, I need to trim this shrub up so that I'm only doing the things that are more strategic than operational, because I'm going to delegate these things to other people. Well, here's what happens naturally over time. As time goes on, let's say you properly delegated some of these things to some of your people. You identified some of these processes and you went, I can't do all this by myself, so I need to get somebody else, and then I'm going to model, assist, watch, and leave as I delegate that process. Well, over time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, the shrub grows back. Healthy things grow. And then in about 6 months, a year down the road, you're like, God, I feel busy again, like I feel overwhelmed again. Well, what's happening? Your shrub's grown back. We need to go back and trim the hedges and take all these clippings and start to empower other people to be able to do that through proper delegation, not abdication. So here's a simple way to do it. Once you've got your master process roadmap and you've done all this brain dump, all I want you to do is go next to each one and start to rank the process or the task that a lot of times you're doing right now. And there's 3 lenses we can start to evaluate those tasks through. Number 1 is time. Second is energy. And third is what I'll call delegatability. What in the world does that mean? Okay, first, time, that's the easy one. This task right here currently is taking me 1 hour per week, or whatever that time is. And you look at that. And then you go, that task right there that's taking me an hour a week, it's kind of, think about Gladiator, when they're in the ring, it's up, down, or kind of in the middle, and the emperor holds his hand and he's like, up or down. And so this task right here, is it an up? It gives you energy. Is it a down? It sucks the life out of you. Or is it kind of like a, I don't mind. Okay, so that's the energy level. And then the delegatability, what do we mean by that? That means number 1 is this task, the only person that can do that task is me. Now, I get it. A lot of these tasks you think are going to be ones. I can assure you that 98% of these tasks should not be ones. Number 2 is, I thought I was the only one that could do this, but turns out I'm not omnipresent, I'm not omniscient, I'm not all-powerful, and there are other people who could potentially do this thing similarly to the way that I do it. That's a number 2 delegatability. Number 3 is, I should have delegated this a long time ago, right? Checking your email, taking out the trash, whatever. I should have passed that off to somebody else a long time ago. So we start to rank each process by the amount of time it takes, the energy it gives us, and how delegatable it is. So the things that should be in your purview, in your shrub right here, are things that take a decent amount of time, up on the energy level, and they're a 1 on the delegatability, meaning only you should do that. Everything else, things that are 2 or 3s on delegatability, that are neutral or down on energy and take a lot of time, you need to be passing those off to other people. How do we do that? The PTA model. Process it, train it, hold them accountable. So here's a goal for you. I want you to try to take 3 processes that you map out here and try to delegate those within the next 90 days. Now you're going, who am I going to delegate them to? Well, the good news is I've created another video that is going to be super, super helpful for you. If you go to that video, you can click on the link in the description below. Not only is the video going to walk you through how to train new hires and get the proper people on the bus so you can delegate this stuff, but also at the end of that video, I've got a free gift that is an amazing handbook, and then our team has actually chocked that full of extra templates that'll be able to walk you through how to get that person on board so you can start delegating right away. So go click on that link below, and that'll be really, really helpful for you. The reason I want you doing all this is because right now you feel like you're in chaos, and part of that chaos is you've not properly delegated. Our aim is to liberate you from that chaos so that you can make time for the things that matter most.